Hey, it's Lockie here with a review of the 2021 Salomon Dancehaul. The Dancehaul is a unisex, tapered, directional board with a wide waist width, so you can ride it quite a bit smaller than your regular board. I'll go through how it rides on groomers, in powder, and in the park. The Dancehaul has the Rock Out Camber profile, which means that it's flat between your feet, camber under your feet, with rocker on the nose and tail. This is probably Salomon's most popular profile because it works well for so many situations and different riding styles. It has a medium flex rating, so it isn't hard to push or flex the board, but it isn't so soft that regular riding becomes hard work. It has a tapered shape, which means that the nose is about 12mm wider than the tail. The taper helps the board naturally start turns smoothly, helps the nose float and the tail sink in deeper snow. It has a sintered base, so as long as you keep it waxed, there won't be any problem keeping your speed up. One of the things that makes the Dancehaul feel so playful is the shorter length combined with the wider width. Even though you ride it shorter than a regular board, the extra width means that it still has a big surface area, which stops it from feeling unstable. I was able to demo the Dancehaul earlier in the year and was pretty surprised about how it rode for a short volume shift board. I've ridden and bought a few short boards in the past, like the Ride War Pig and Super Pig, as well as the Captor Slush Slasher, so I had a decent idea of what to expect, but I've had the most fun on the Dancehaul. I'm 6 foot tall, weigh about 155 pounds or 70 kilograms. Normally I ride boards at around 155 centimeters long. I tested the 147 centimeter Dancehaul, which has a recommended weight range of 60 to 85 kilos, so I was right in the middle of the recommended range. I rode it with my Burton Cartel bindings, set up with angles of positive 12 degrees on the front foot, negative 9 on the back, and a stance width of around about 21 inches wide. Although 147 centimeters is quite short, it has a waist width of 255 millimeters, which is a pretty standard width for a 155 centimeter board, so I didn't have any problem fitting it with my size 9.5 boots. This is all filmed at Mount Hotham in Victoria, but the whole mountain was shut down at the start of winter, which means that we had to hike for every single lap. This review definitely took the most effort out of all of them, and I'll never take a lift for granted again. The Rock Out Camber is a good profile. I liked it when I rode the Salomon Villain and Assassin, so there's no big changes there. There's enough camber to give it a good push back, but it never feels too aggressive. In heavier snow, it isn't too hard to lean back and let the tail do all the work. The speed of the Dancehaul was never a problem. I rode it in all kinds of conditions, from slush, dry powder, heavy wet snow, and it did well. Like any board with the sintered base, you do want to wax it regularly. The edge hold is pretty good on boards with Rock Out Camber, so I didn't have any problems on hard packed and icy wind-blown snow. It's still a step down from the edge hold of a full traditional camber board, but there isn't much to complain about. I was most excited to see how it would ride in soft and deeper snow. I really liked how other short volume shift boards rode in powder, and wanted to see how the camber on this one did compared to the much more aggressive Ride Super Pig. Being quite a bit smaller than what I regularly ride, it was very quick and easy to turn. Didn't take much warning or need much planning to make last minute turns. Has a smooth and surfy feel, and I never felt like my back leg was getting tired from trying to keep the nose up. It seemed to do that by itself. Although you wouldn't really expect it to be that good in the park, I like boards that can do a bit of everything, so I still rode it on rails. I gave it a bit of a detune between the feet so it wouldn't catch, and was pretty happy with how it rode. The small length made it easy to move around and spin off rails, and the Rock Out Camber is a good mix. But that shouldn't be a surprise, as it's the same profile as their main park boards like the Villain and Sleepwalker. Has enough flex that it can be pressed, but not so soft that I felt like I was going to wash out on landings. Although it has a directional shape with taper, the stance is still centered. Riding switch on groom runs is okay, but takes a bit of getting used to. Riding out switch from rails was fine, didn't seem like a big deal. It comes in 4 sizes, 143, 147, 152 and 157 centimeters. I would make sure to follow Salomon's weight range if you're looking at this board, but not to be scared of getting a board much smaller than you normally ride. If you find that you're in the weight range between the 147 and the 152, keep in mind that there's a big jump in waist widths. The 147 has a 255mm waist, and the 152 goes all the way up to 264, so it's quite a bit wider. The easiest way to describe the Dancehaul would be to say that it's just a fun board. On groomers, powder, park, it makes everything seem pretty smooth and easy. The durability of the board seems pretty good. I was never very nice to it. I definitely rode over a lot of rocks and bushes. Considering that I rode it quite a lot on rails, nothing's happened to the edges. There haven't been any cracks or anything that I've had to fix. I think over the next few years, this will end up being a pretty popular board. If you like this video, subscribe to see more, and if you've got any questions about the board, leave a comment below.